So we're back and we're playing a little bit of Naya Kiki Chord. So as with the previous deck we were playing, this deck's goal is to get Kiki-Jiki the Mirror Breaker into play. And in this case, make 1 million copies of Restoration Angel. So Restoration Angel is a 4-mana, 3/4 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you can exile target non-angel creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. In this case, that's Kiki-Jiki. But we can also use this as a value play with our Skyclave Apparition, with our Eternal Witness, with anything that's about to eat removal is sort of the original design of the card. We also have a bunch of tutor targets. So we've got a Shalai, we've got Archon of Emeria, we've got a Magus of the Moon, we've got Eternal Whiteness, we've got the Phyrexian Revoker, and a Scavenging Ooze. All of these cards can be fetched with either one of our 4 Chord of Calling or one of our 4 Eldritch Evolution. We've got 3 Voice of Resurgence. This is good against other mid-range and control decks. We've got 2 Lightning Helix and 4 Lightning Bolts as interaction, plus 4 Ephemerates to flicker our ETB triggers. We've got full 4 Wall of Omens, full 4 Wall of Blossoms, full 4 Birds of Paradise, full 4 Noble Hierarch. So this is absolutely just a really clean construction. Hands Some asks the brilliant question: can we hardcast Kiki if we draw it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We have 4 fetchable red sources, plus 4 Birds of Paradise, plus we have Magus of the Moon in our deck, along with a plethora of non-basic lands. So we should not have a problem drawing our Kiki-Jiki if we do draw it. We are playing an 80-card deck, which mitigates the chances of us doing that. We've got Urian Sky Nomad in the sideboard to flicker our gigantic board of stuff. And then we've got a mixture of other good cards in the modern format. We got some Boils. We got Linvala, Keeper of Silence. This is a pretty cool card you don't see very often. 2 quite for a flying angel, 3/4. Legendary creature. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated, so that hoses the Heliod deck pretty well, but also things like goblins, things like just all the creature combo decks, generally speaking. So let's hop into a modern league, see if we can keep on rocking in the free world.
Meanwhile,
it's what Neil Young would want, dude. Hi, handsome. Hope things are well. I try not to Elasian your voice, your name together. It's Hands Some. But I could always hit you with the hello, handsome. Oh, it's such a lovely shade of brown that your name's in today. Nickname's actually Hands. Well, then I will try to do that. I don't think this is the hand we want. I also think that this is not the hand we want. Oh, no. All right. All right. Windswept Heath. What kind of madman would play a Windswept Heath? Ah. Can someone supply me with a gender-neutral term for madman? It's probably not important. Madman rolls off the tongue so hard, but I guess I thought the same thing about Madlands versus Creature Lands, etc., etc. Maniac. Oh, I like Maniac. Maniac's a great one. What kind of maniac would... Thank you, team. Well, I don't know if Lad helps me out on the axis I was looking for, but you're trying, and I like that. I don't remember what what TV show or whatever. Lunatic is also good. I don't remember what TV show or etc. that it was from, where someone very condescendingly says to someone who comes up with like a really stupid response to a question, it's like, no, not that. But you're thinking, and I like that. Wall of Omens. All right, maybe their Goblin Guide will give me a hand here. Come on, buddy. Which team do you play for? We all know Goblin Guide is a switch hitter. Dr. Cox from Scrubs. No, he's never that nice. I want to say it's Mr. Bergstrom on the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa's got. It's called Lisa's Substitute. I think it's Mr. Bergstrom responding to like Ralph. So that sounds like the kind of nice character responding to the stupid character. Deranged, also good. Sanity challenged. Can we do like sanely challenged? Is that okay? That's a lot of landfall triggers. Burning Tree. Salinity challenge? No, that's not what that means. Holy yikes. We're gonna need a bigger helix. So each of the cats is now a 5/5 or a 5/6. Room temperature IQ, also acceptable. Also, I'm at 11. Also, there's no land on top of my deck. Come on, deck. What is this? Why you gotta do me dirty like this? I guess we gotta go block the biggie, and then I gotta helix one of these Goblin Guides. I lose my whole board. I get a 1/1, and then the top of my deck is a useless Ephemerate. I guess I could Chord for 1. No, I can't even do that. No, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We mulled to 5, and they had a very reasonable hand. Dodge Titan and sick top decks to me. Sick top decks. Bleh. Sick top decks to you as well, Mr. Maple Syrup. All right. Path seems okay. Don't need Magus here so much. Archon's fine. Revoker's probably bad. I think that's it. I think this should be a reasonable... Yeah, but Path also removes a landfall creature, right? So on average, I think it should be fine. Like, even in that game, I could have blocked 2 landfall creatures and Path the 3rd landfall creature, and giving them the triggers all on one turn is not dangerous. As long as the triggers are all happening on the same turn, it's not a problem. Let's play Path as a sorcery. Yeah, well, you can even play it as an instant, as long as you just make sure they don't have extra creatures hitting you. Like, if the way combat is... It's a very frequently... I'm gonna guess that fairly frequently combat is going to be set up in a way where our creatures are going to die anyway, so we'll Path the ones we're not blocking, which obviously is, you know, less than ideal. I kind of want the Magus, but it's probably better than Archon. As a one of. Skyclave Resto going to be really good. I hope so. And Ephemerate. I mean, these are all cards that could have been really good that game, but we just had a 5-card hand that was like vaguely functional, so I had to keep that. My 7 was poor and my 6 was poorer. This one's good. This is good. It'll do. Yeah. That'll do, deck. That'll do. Akoum Hellhound. All right. This thing. This Voice. Cats and dogs and lands. Cats and dogs attacking together. It's anarchy, people. You see? You see? This is what we get. This is what we get for our loss of good Christian values. Jesus. I could really go for a Plague Engineer right about now, huh? What the hell is the best 4-drop I can get? It's just like Shalai, right? Which is like not good enough at all. I guess I could get Magus, which would turn off their fetches. I think I boarded the Archon out. I did. Yeah, I didn't realize the land clause. I always see this as a bit of storm hate, but you're right. The land clause would have messed them up pretty good. There's no seasoned pyromancers in this deck for me to get to clear my hand. Skyclave Apparition. There we go. I guess I just turned my Noble Hierarch into a Skyclave Apparition. That seems alright. Definitely in the stem the bleeding phase of this game. Why not sack the voice? Well, I didn't have to. Now I can chump block with the voice and then get the token off of it. Because I don't really need the mana off the Hierarch anymore. Like, I have enough mana. I have more than enough mana. But I'm going to get the token anyway, right? Wall of Omens on top. Yeah, that can stay. I'm not going to shuffle. So I'll pick off the guide. They don't have any landfall in play. If they have a Tarka's command... Alright, so we'll double block the guide. In case they have a Tarka's command. Or some other nonsense. They'll get a 1-1 out of this. It's fine by me. They didn't have anything. Good. Good. Wild Nakatl. Sure. Yes, I know what my wall's blocking. Now, if only I could draw something reasonable off this wall, we could dig out of this hole we're in. Lightning Helix, anybody? Oh, more land. No, that's... Don't get up. It's fine. It's fine, deck. I don't need any help. I'll be fine. I'll just do this without you. It's fine. No landfall. Okay. Something's going our way. My deck's making me sass it. Come on, baby. Another wall into a Lightning Helix? Okay. That's fine too. Again, you can just keep giving me spells. Any and all spells. These are acceptable draws. I'm not mad. When I hit the landfaller. I don't know, because I'm an idiot. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm just like not super worried about it. Clearly I should have been. Freaking 2/2 Reach Illusion. Oh, no. Come on, man. What the hell? That's the last card in their hand. Oh my god. Oh, their board is so big. Alright. I don't think we're dead. But holy hell. Holy crap. 4, 5, 6. I could go to 1 that way. I mean, the Wild Nacatl would be the same size as these 4/4s right now. So it's not really... not a huge difference. This is basic. This is basically the best block, but like... I mean, they have no cards in hand, so in theory, they're down to a 2-power creature next turn with 1 toughness, and I get a 1/1 voice token. The other way to do this would be not to... I want to kill the illusion. Killing the illusion is... yeah, this is... I think this is the way to do this. Oh, they get the Skyclave token. I forgot. Okay, we got to draw something. Helix, wall... oh, cool. Just more lands. Awesome. Rough. That was rough. It's fine. We had really silly draws both games there, so can't even be mad about it. And there was more land coming. Excellent. Yeah, the funny thing is, like, this deck is like stacked on everything, right? Like, there's more than enough of everything. We just drew none of it. This is the first, like, medium hand we've had. It's wonderful. It's, like, not great in any direction, but totally playable. I love it. I'm so excited. What is with all the blooming marshes over the last couple days? I do not understand. Yeah, I like Wall of Roots a lot. It wasn't in this deck list, hands, but I definitely like Wall of Roots in Chord of Calling decks. I should make sure I get 3 green sources into play reasonably quickly, because I have the resto. So if I can chord for 5, we get the win with this hand. Interesting. Feels like a pox? With this many, like, with the non-token creatures in it? I don't know about that. I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it couldn't be. I think it's some kind of strange mid-range deck. That's all good. No, I definitely don't know what they're up to. Well, that's a shame. We can evolution into the Kiki, though. So we can actually set up to combo kill them on the next turn, basically. which is kind of nuts. Yeah, because we either go EOT, Resto, slide my wall, and then Chord on our turn, or EOT, Resto, Evolution, and get the Stoneforge. No, yeah, it's just some kind of mid-range deck. Wild. Sort of Feasting Famine. Okay. What the hell? Okay. Now they have the mana to play and equip the Sword of Feast and Famine. But I can Resto Angel, slide my wall, block Ephemerate. So might be a pretty big blowout for our side, and then we just kill them. Which is awesome. Evo into Ewit and Evo Ewit. We could. I don't think I want to do that right now, but that's an option. Does not have protection from white. Please attack. I like you, opponent. Remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. Whee! Yes, I'd like to draw another card, please. No, I'll wait. I'll hold. Doodly doo 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 doo. A doodly doo doo doo. Doodly doo 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 doo. Whoop. Do 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 ba do ba do boo. They do have one mana open. I can Skyclave the Hierarch first, see if they float the mana. Song is called You're Nice, and it's a staple part of the SpongeBob soundtrack. Doodly doo 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 doo. Doodly doo doo doo. Doodly doo 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 doo. I think I actually have it on my iTunes. Isn't it better to sack the Skyclave Evolution to get Kiki anyway? Yes. Wait, necessary. Evolution only goes up 2. I don't know why I was thinking Wall could turn into Kiki. I think I was used to the last deck where Wall could turn into Vannifar. So that's, yes, that was actually very important that we play that first. Yay, I'm learning. Okay. So we're against some kind of mid-range nonsense deck with black interaction. Magus is probably not so good against the bunch of mana dorks deck. And then I probably don't need Lightning Helixes. I kind of want to keep the Revoker just in case something comes up. I'm not a huge fan of Archon, but I got kicked in the teeth last time I boarded out the Archon, so maybe we'll just try it again. Do I have it on here? I think I have it. Yeah. SpongeBob production music, You're Nice. I should put this on my soundboard for combo turns too. Gacha Keeper. That one. I choose this one. My opponent is in fact playing Abzan with Noble Hierarch. I guess they just like being aggressive. Wow, look at all these special frames they have. I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to beat a deck with this many special frames. I mean, I just don't know. So the reason that sound file sounds like that is out of all the SpongeBob production music, for some reason, no matter how much research I've done, I've never been able to find an actual version of the recording. So someone, not me, holy crap, someone not me, went through all the episodes of SpongeBob to pull out those clips from actual episodes and then splice them together into as much of that actual song as they could, which is pretty insane. Kudos to them, though. Footsies. Holy shit. Bye, Veil of Thumber. Gosh, Archon of Emeria, you're sure crap the bed on being a land. Man, hand sucks. Yeah, OP with the pimped out deck. Doom, 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Play Assassin Trophy. Yeah, they're gonna Inquisition, and I got no mana. Veil of Summer don't help. How am I doing tonight, McDerp? I'm McDerping it up, I guess. Abzan borderless. That's what we're playing against. Abzan with no borders. You know, they're like doctors without borders, but, you know, kind of way more crappy. No, I'm doing good, McDerp. We just went 2 and 3 with a crazy all pods, all creature combos combo deck, and now we're doing this nonsense. And we got rated by the one and only Mythic Meaboo. Each opponent sacks a creature. You gain 4 life. I object, sir, but I have nothing about which I can do. Bolt. Bye, Omen. On the plus side, this Veil probably is going to block a reasonable amount of their like interaction, assuming they conceded. Done. 2 bears. That's so many more bears than what I got. Scoop. Okay, nice mid-range deck. The Guile has a border. Meebo. Oh, thank you, Tartan Scarf Man. I literally asked like 3 times when I got rated, and nobody answered me. Meebo. Mythic Meebo. No problem. So is that like the amiibos that thing that Nintendo did? I assume so. Hand is fine. It was a drop and run, just like me and the kids and the grandparents. Yeah, that's the plan. Their land has dinosaurs. Alright, I'm done. They do travel in herds. Move in herds? They move in herds. Yeah, this does have a lot of the same things going on. I do have a couple of Soul Herder decks, or just one. I've heard the recorded version, and I've seen the meme video where they dubbed in the recorded version to the actual scene. It's great. I think that if it's not actually associated with it, it must be vaguely associated with the shitty flute covers. There was a shitty flute cover of Gas, 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 or Running in the 90s, which I just pronounced weird because that's how they pronounce it in the song. Yeah, the Heart Will Go On one. Shitty flute running in the 90s? I think it's running in the 90s. Yeah. Hey! They bolted my voice. Good thing. And they don't have the bolt for this. Nice non-basics, nerd. Let's hear this. Ooh. There you go. The chorus. Oh my god, it's great. When it went into stereo. I can't. I think that song might be Gas ×3. Oh, that was lovely. Thank you, internet. Thank you. What? Glory banger? Yikes! You got me good, opponent. You got me good. So I only have one Kiki-Jiki in this deck, so I like, even though I really want to play it just to like start copying Wall of Omens for value, I feel like that's just not an option. Might want to not yield an end step versus a Blood Moon deck. I mean, what was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? Because they would only have 2 mana left. Like, what were they gonna play that I was gonna like try to float the Helix for that they couldn't go second main phase? Like, I guess my thought is like that's not relevant unless they totally screw up. If they play Blood Moon and I float the mana for Helix because they had nothing in play, they just go main phase 2 on the fetch land. Sure, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you're not wrong. My hand's really bad though. I mean, I guess I could just grab Urian, which will outclass the Glory Banger. But then if they have a Bolt, they'll be... No, grabbing Urian is probably correct here. Also, I didn't realize they were on Ponza until just this minute. Until you said it. I thought they were on something bad for no particular reason. Yeah, elementary school edition. When the kids get the recorders to start to learn play music. I don't know why I just totally didn't click in there playing actual factual Ponza. Maybe it was the main deck Chandra. But that is a thing these decks can play. Why did they shock that? Please do not tell me they're playing the 6-drop Chandra. That would be very upsetting. I mean, sweet, but... They pillaged my planes! Lol fetch planes. Okay, so they have 0 cards in hand, so Urian will function reasonably well as a wall here. Who said this was a Blood Moon deck? Whoever did is a god-dang genius. Save me a mana. I can't use it for anything, but if we top deck a Bolt, we're gonna be made in spades, baby. I just realized we're playing an Ephemerate deck with Urian. I might be in love. That's not a bad draw. That's not a bad draw at all. That's a very good draw. So now even if they draw the removal for my Urian, I'm pretty happy. Jeez. I'm gonna chill out. Hell. Alright, that's fine. We can still win. Do 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 do. I can't Chord and Ephemerate, so I just need them to like brick one time here. One time for the one time. That's a brick. That's a quality brick. You are very dead, opponent. You're so dead. You're so dead. You probably think this chord is for you. You're so dead, baby. A woohoo! I could slide my whole board and just start going crazy value bananas. Yay! They conceded! Why did they concede? They don't know I have a Kiki in my hand. they literally... What happened? Why are we done? I'm not done with you. Alright, whatever. Magus against the Blood Moon deck. Eternal Witness against the Blood Moon deck. Well, Eternal Witness against the Pillage deck. Path to Exile. Now we're talking. And then maybe Burrenton. Do I think they're going to play some kind of board wipe against me? I don't think so. Maybe it's just worth it to have it against Bolts. It's probably just worth it to have it against Bolt. Yeah, I mean, from the things they saw that game, do you think they'd actually board in anger? I guess they might. I'll keep the Scooze. I'll keep the Revoker. Maybe we don't need the extra Witness. I need 2 cuts here. I'm on the draw, which means I really want a Mana Dork. Scooze is nice versus Clothis. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't want to cut any of my Bolts or Helixes. Maybe we just cut a couple of walls. Or like a Skyclave. No, I want the Skyclaves for Clothis too. We have infinite answers for Clothis, actually. Is Witness better than Revoker? I don't think I need the second Witness, and I don't think I want to not have the Revoker. I think I should take it the Archon, because that's just going to eat a Bolt and die. Like, it's just not... I don't think this card's going to be relevant. Arbor Elf and Chandra are good names. Yeah. I mean, Arbor Elf's okay. Chandra or other Planeswalkers are what I'm in it for. I think I just cut one wall, because, like, their ground beaters are less relevant than their creatures that are big enough to beat in past the walls. I mean, just because we didn't see any Bone Crushers, etc., doesn't mean they're not there. And Blood Raised. If this is factual, like, Gruul Midrange, then their draw was incredibly poor, and I should be ready for death on the draw. I'd really like to have a Lightning Bolt in my opener. Okay. Listen. That is right. That is exactly what I asked for. Now on this mulligan, I'd like a Bolt and lands to cast it. Okay, I mean... You weren't specific enough. Your deck is an engineer. Doesn't understand subtlety. Forest, sure. Acceleration. Oh no. Well, here's my card that dodges your Stone Rains. Blood Moon, lol. If they have Blood Moon into Pillage, we'll be in trouble very quickly. Especially with the double Skyclave draw. Okay, so it's like, what, 1,000,000% chance they had a Pillage there? Tarmogoyf? No, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is like, this is not normal. This opponent is not normal. This is not... It's not normal. It's the first odd Ponza card you've seen? Sure. But I meant, just the way the first game worked out was generally odd. And then, like, maybe it was just them drawing their deck in the wrong order. Like, that happens, but... Like, what was the first thing they played was Chandra, right? They played, like, an Arbor Elf, and then it was, like, turn 3 or 4 Chandra? No, they did something else in the early game. Sprawl on red. Yep. Oh, no. Oh, man. Gross. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But, like, I don't know. It's just been so long that, like, since, like, Ponza's been a relevant deck at all, that it's just hard for me to read it when it was, like, all goofy. So, not being able to fetch a basic is kind of crappy on this. And I kind of need to get a Plains with this. In case they Blood Moon me, I need to cast the second Apparition. I guess if they don't kill it too. I have 2 cards left in there. So we can eat the Tarmogoyf with Apparition, and then we can Ephemerate, which is kind of insane. Ephemerate with Apparition is just not acceptable. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Pillage. Yep. Okay. See, this looks like Ponza. Well, sorry, Groll Midrange. Which I think is actually an important distinction. We got Path for the banger. We've got double Skyclave. Double Skyclave. Yeah, I can block first. Alright. I need them not to have removal in hand. Okay. This is what I'm used to from Groll. This is what I'm used to from Groll. The plus side, we're only taking 3 so far this turn, so maybe we'll be okay. Unless they have a Bolt as their last card. Okay. That's the remand. Yes, I would like to cast this. Bye, Tarmogoyf. Of course, they got a 4/4 illusion, so not out of the woods at all. We're just dead. Cool. Ponza, Groll midranged me. Not surprising. In a game where I had no disruption for their acceleration. So that's how that goes. Alright, let's do it again. Hit the lower CMC first and then the higher on the rebound. Well, I wanted to block the Goyf. And then I had to take the Bloodbraid Elf before it hit me. Oh, you're right. I could have blocked it. Yeah. That's 100%. You're right. Yes, thank you. I could have done it exactly the smart way. It didn't end up mattering, but it could have very easily. I did do it with the intent for it to be good, and it very much was not. It was good on the front side. It wasn't good on the back side. Yeah, I mean, that's what that deck does. They hit you hard. They put you under incredible pressure from multiple angles, and you have to be able to interact early or you will die, which is cool. I've liked the evolution as far as we've played with it, but I'm not one way or the other on it yet. I'm guessing I'm supposed to evolution or chord to witness first a lot of the times, and we haven't had to do that yet. To get all the way up to Kiki. Oof. Sand doesn't go anywhere. That's fine. This one is acceptable. Opponent also mulled to 6. I will bottom one of my ramp creatures, which is the voice. I guess this is reasonable against Bloodbraid Elf sort of in general. Yeah, I just bottom one of the ramp creatures. Yeah. Yeah, voice. I think voice is definitely partly in this deck as a part of the fact that they're playing for Eldritch Evolution, because it goes well together, at least reasonably so. And then there's 8 walls, right? So there's at least 11 creatures that all go up to the Resto Angel. So Path sucks as removal here. So I'm hoping I don't have to use it anytime soon. Usually their deck really leans on the 3 slot, so having the birds in play already is great. Scooze? Goif. Really don't want to have to path this Goif, so I'm not going to yet. But we'll see. Picked it up from the first 5-0 deck dump. This is not a brew. I do very little pure brewing on this channel. Sometimes. It's a jerk move, opponent. Oh, they're light on lands. I see. So I will shock this so that I don't have to crack my fetches. And this insulates my basic lands from them having pillage or stone rain or anything of that nonsense. So that if they're currently in a spot where if they hit 3 mana, they're like, well, I can pillage one of their non-basics, but that doesn't set up my Blood Moons particularly well. So I don't think I need to force this Ephemerate. I think I'm in a really controlling position as long as there are missing land drops. Okay, we'll definitely pop this Ephemerate this turn cycle, but I don't think. Well, maybe I could have done the A side aggressively. We'll see. Okay. They have hit their 3rd land. Oh, great. Well, that is some inevitability. It's okay. I would like to draw 2 cards for 1 mana. Value. Okay. Okie dokie, we're kind of getting there. I'm in the driver's seat now. Ooh, okay. Okay. So now if we hit a chord or... They hit a chord, for sure. I can evolution for the witness and start going up the chain that way, though, right? And I should have done that this turn because I have an Ephemerate. Okay. I could have put myself in a more winning position more quickly here. It's okay. So I have 6 mana on my turn. I can go evolution the voice into a witness. Witness picks up the evolution. Play the evolution on the witness. No. Okay. I have to do it over 2 turns. But I think this means I can kill them very soon. Excuse me? Ah. Huh. I've never read the whole text on Eldritch Evolution. Good to know. Good to know. It exiles itself. This is, we're learning. We're learning. It's fine. We have Lightning Helix and Ephemerate. We're going to be A-okay. Everything's going to be fine. We're all fine now here. I'm not going to respond. Oh, they're going for mana? Okay, so this means they probably have Glory Banger and a land, which means I am going to path it. Plus, I didn't... ran it 6. Okay. I'm going to ping my Eternal Witness. Oh, their Clothis is animate now. Okay. Animated Clothis sounds nice. It's indestructible. I'll never be able to beat it. Who could repel firepower of that magnitude? Surely not our Star Cruisers. Okay. So 1 plains. Path Clothis. Second plains. Go block. I don't really think I want to take 4, so let's throw one of these walls under the bus. I think that's fine. Ephemerate the witness. Can I get a witness? Yes, you can. Witness come back, get voice, and then when she comes back again, I'll get the ephemerate. We just get to loop her for value, which is gross. Green, white, witness things. Just witness things. Just witness things. Don't worry about it. Let's draw a chord. Huh. Bolt, eh? I like that. I like that a lot. So let's play voice. Let's play bolt. Let's just absolutely ruckus our opponent's board. Yay! We out mid-range the mid-range deck. Do you like my value, opponent? Do you like how I value? All right. So we're at 2-1. Doing alrighty here. Value Town. Ever since Ephemerate got printed, I'm more of a fan of Value Town. I love Eternal Witness so much, but like playing it honestly is not something I'm interested in. Let me see how many German copies of Ephemerate I have, because I have most of my leftover cards from my German box of Modern Horizons. I have 2 Munitions Experts and a Pashalik Mons, a Goblin Matron. Oh, there we go. It can't only be 2, but maybe it was. I got only 4 Arkham's Astrolabes from a whole box, so. I do have a German Soul Herder, though. Seelentriebier. Seelentriebier. Another Q popped. What is Ephemerate in German? It is Verfluchtigen. Ja, Verfluchtigen. Die Verfluchtigen ist ein Sponsenzauber, and it reads, Schicke eine Kreatur deiner Wahl, die du kontrollierst, ins Exile und bringe sie dann unter die Kontrolle ihrer Beizer ins Spiel zurück. And it has an ability, Abprall. It's pretty good. Am I from Southern Ontario? I absolutely am. I'm from Toronto. T.O. Currently in Oakville, but I'm from Toronto. I worked at ANC Games for 9 months, and I'm a frequent patron of face-to-face games, 401, Sword and Board. At least pre-pandemic I was. All right, so let's lead on Stamping Grounds. Tapped. Had no idea I'm in Niagara. Oh, hi, Greg Peck. Hope you are well. Swamp? No, not a Fort Seas. My Voice of Resurgence. No. Let's take the Archon. Ooh, the classic John, you say? Well, they're off to a good start, and we don't have a good hand against Jund. But let's start drawing Wall of Omens and etc. That's what I would like. I would like to draw Wall of Omens, Wall of Blossoms. Just give me walls. Give me walls. Give me walls. Okay, you know what? Acceptable. I will take your offer of Scavenging Ooze. Should have left up a white. Am idiot. Literally Temple Garden on my board. Literally a Temple Garden on my board. Although, Ephemerate wouldn't have helped me dodge a Liliana activation. Okay. I guess that's a thing that could happen. Yikes. So we want to make sure we have double white in case of us blood mooning. Oh. Can I get a witness? Answer. Yes. Let's get a forest. Play the witness. Definitely leave up a white mana. Because I would like to start being really obnoxious with this Eternal Witness. Do I want voice? I want voice. So, if they have another black source into a Liliana, that'll kill my witness. I can pick up a Scooze in response if I want to. But... oh no, they already had the second black. So I probably could safely assume they had Liliana here. But I'm also going to assume they have a Bolt or otherwise. Yeah, this league has felt really good, Roy. We just absolutely crushed Gruul midrange. No Liliana, please. No Liliana, please. No Liliana, please. There's going to be a Liliana. There's no way in hell this is not a Liliana, and I should have played around it better. Kroxa! That's not a Liliana at all. Okay. I love that. Oh, please tell me the follow-up is Fatal Push. Please tell me. Really? Rats. Gonna take my opponent to Pound Town. And by pound, I mean pound sterling, the British currency. And by pound sterling, I mean cost cash money, because this is Value Town, baby! Eternal Witness, Ephemerate. I think I found a new kink. Raging Ravine? No, they can't. They don't have the colors. Bloodbraid, sure. Cascades into Colligan's Command. That's not okay. Hey, Dan Francisco. This is the latest of the podcast. Really enjoyed the in-depth rundown on the Modern Challenge. You're going to be doing that regularly with one-off. So that was the 5-0 dump, Dan Francisco. We do usually look at the most recent challenge every 2 weeks on Serum Visions. I was thinking that every week I wanted to do a supplemental episode just to talk about the weekend's challenges like right after they happen. I'm not 100% on... They're going to return their Kroxa. And they're going to make me discard a card. Okay, well, I am going to put another card in my hand first. What do you think, opponent? Is this acceptable to you? I don't think it really matters because that's the card I'm going to discard. I don't know if we're going to do that regularly, what I did this week. But rest assured, if more people like you come in and say that they liked what I did, then it's more likely to happen again. As I said, I might just do like the fresh challenge that just happened each week. Each week that we're not recording a regular episode of Serum Visions, I might come on and just talk about the weekend's results to get right on top of it. Yeah, it was a pretty good cascade, but it's just not going to beat the value I have going on. Like this, holy shit. That'd be sweet. Good. I mean, the dive down guys, that's what I know them for. So, you know, not to snipe someone else's product, because I think they do that as well. And I think they do a good job with it. It's funny though, like the Dive Down has 100 and something episodes, and they're supposed to be about doing deep dives on specific archetypes, and then I can't begin to count the number of archetypes they haven't hit. And you know, they've been around a long time, so I'm not trying to throw shade at them or anything, but I just think they have meandered from their original purpose, which is fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Pick up the Scooze. Opponent, you're never going to kill this witness. This witness is the only witness in my deck, and it's going to rock you. Amadeus. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Amadeus. Do 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 do. Amadeus, Amadeus. What's wrong with me? I think you're crazy. Need a second opinion. You're all so lazy. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Oh, Dr. Zaius. Oh, no, I mean, yeah. I, cast the card without paying its mana cost. There it is. Okay, I was like, what happened? If you did every deck straight away, the podcast would die after 20 episodes. Do you know how many modern decks are viable? Dude, it's like 80. And there are new ones coming out every 3 months. And there are developments in decks that would have you revisit those decks. There are so many modern decks that I think are worthy of being talked about by a podcast. If that was your intention, you could do that. And you could do it basically forever. Not Hollow One. Rude. Hollow One stands. Get him. Get him. Dear opponent, are you sick of my Ephemerates yet? I saw someone playing Crabvine this week. I feel like anything is literally possible. Croxa. Okay. I'll just take 3. Rip Hollow One? What happened to Hollow One? Why is Hollow One dead? Simian Spirit Guys was not a part of Hollow One, was it? Oh, they get to escape the Croxa. Well done, opponent. Surely Lantern Control isn't possible. We just lost to it last league. It died black with looting. I've seen it since looting. See, this is the thing I'm talking about. Is like people are like, the deck is dead, and it's like, no, it's not dead. It's just a lot worse. Probably not gonna see it on any Pro Tours or nothing, but it's not dead. We do need to find ourselves a Archon of Emeria right quick. That would be good. Even a wall of stuff would help, because then I could start just drawing cards. I guess Croxa is really funny against the Eternal Witness Ephemerate combo, because she's providing me with exactly as many cards per turn as I need to cancel out the damage. So, like, we're kind of in an interesting little holding pattern here. Although I think what I'm going to do is pick up something when it attacks me, block with the voice, let the voice create a giant token. Couldn't you have stopped Croxa with Ooze? They stacked it correctly. No, I couldn't. If I had been more proactive, I could have stopped them from having enough cards to escape the Croxa. So yes, I could have, but I was just not paying enough attention because I was interacting with chat because I'm a bad player. But a reasonable streamer. All right, so we'll do the thing. I guess I could have blocked first to get more value out of this play. Now I have to burn my second Ephemerate. If they have a second removal spell, we'll get punked super hard here. Yay! Yeah, streaming is hard. Absolutely. I mean, streaming was easy back in the beginning because I was playing mostly one deck, and I never felt compelled to interact with chat that much because there was only Roy. Well, in the beginning, Roy, it was just you and me, so if I left you alone for a second while I was like doing stuff, I didn't feel like obligated to like interact with you. But like when we have people coming in and going and all sorts of stuff, like I'm not mad about it. I love that people will show up and want to see me doing this. I don't understand it, but you know, I'm into it. If you guys are into it, I'm into it. So Revoker is valuable against their deck. Yeah, we're on Discord and Skype more often. Man, I miss that a little bit now. Oh my god, we used to use Skype. Oh my god, that's right. And we had problems a whole bunch where like we couldn't get connected sometimes. Oh my god, it's forever ago. Anyway, Revoker is like a card that's reasonable against Jund, but it's very easy to die, like have it die. Magus, same deal. Like it's just too easy for them to have a lightning bolt and blow you out. Magus, maybe Magus is worth the risk. I do want these cards in. Skyclave is excellent. Archon is poor. Well, you know what though? We'll be jamming in paper again someday soon, and you can play Infect against every little thing that I'm trying to play. Et tu Skype. I like that Skype is spelled with an E, so it actually lends itself to being Latinized very nicely. Latinized, of course, being very similar to being canonized. What do I want out here? Like one of my accelerants? I think one of my accelerants makes a lot of sense, because if they remove, like if they have Renin 6 on the play, I'm gonna be a sad panda if I play a 1-drop into it. So we should try to keep a hand that's a little I think that would have been a reasonable joke without the /s, but I am happy you added it. I like that. That's great. Man, I was really tired and salty at the beginning of this stream, but I'm really glad that we got going with these decks. These have been sweet. All right, keep that one. Ship the Chord. Just keep all this delicious, delicious mana. Just frustrated with the enigmatic deck a little bit. I mean, I love that deck, but it's just like it's very, very underpowered against the big mana decks. It's like playing Jund against big mana. It's just like you don't have a chance. And it's really crappy too when you're like game 1, turn 3 Magus of the Moon, and they're like lol O-Stone, and you're like I don't have an answer for that right now. And then 2 turns later, the game ends. It's like, ugh, why? Why do I try to do interesting things? Am I about to get Blood Mooned? I feel like I'm 100% about to get Blood Moon. I should have gone on Vista there. Is Jund gonna Blood Moon me? Watch them windmill slam this Blood Moon. I'm really excited. Okay. Not what I was expecting. This is exactly what happened in the other game against this deck. And you know what I have to say to this deck? Urza's not playable. You know that card, Urza Lord High Artificer? It's CMC 4 or less. I wonder why that's relevant. I wonder why 4 CMC or less is suddenly relevant. It's not Abrupt Decay, that hasn't changed. No, something else must have happened. Huh. I don't know. Can't figure it out. Why do you invalidate so many cards I love? Oh, you too. Why do you invalidate so many cards I love? The 2 of you! Together, plotting against me. Collective brutality. Oof. Yeah, Karn the Great Creator. But Karn is also a bastard-coded bastard with bastard filling, so I'm not mad about Karn getting shot down by Skyclave. Bridge, on the other hand. I don't love bridge getting sniped. Peak end rule. What is the peak end rule? So next turn I could play Hierarch and evolution it into Witness and pick up the evolution, but having a Witness on the board against Ren and 6 is no good. Resto Angel might be okay here. The peak end rule is a psychological heuristic in which people judge an experience largely on how they felt at its peak. Yeah. What is the story that most... I think it might have been a Mark Rosewater story. Was he said, if you go for a nice day at the beach and you have 6 hours of a nice day at the beach and then you step on a jellyfish at the end of it and it stings you, you will remember that as that crappy jellyfish day. I was not talking about the study, no. Can I get a resto? 8. So Plague Engineer on human is a little tilting. Oh, or it would have been. We need a Billy Mays commercial for Skyclave Apparition. Rip Billy Mays. Hey, as long as he lives on in our memory, then he lives on in the true sense. I think that was the moral of Coco and the less popular but still great Book of Life. I enjoyed learning about Mexico's afterlife religion thing. It's awesome. It's I'd not heard any actual real world, and I don't mean to criticize. I just, because as far as I understand it, Mexico, Central America, South America has largely been taken over by different Christianities, mostly Catholicism. So it doesn't feel like authentically theirs to say that that's their religion. But the point was, oh, I just win, huh? Unless they have instant speed interaction. I don't think we don't go for this. The point was, basically, the way it was explained was like, nobody's dead until nobody alive remembers who they were. Which I was like, dude, that's deep. That's deep. Because it's real. Colonization is weird. Yeah, like Korea is the same way. Korea is like predominantly Christian. You're like, wait, what? Cousin's grandma had blue eyes. Yeah. Anyway, the point was, I was like, that is like one of the more beautiful random religious-y things I've ever heard, is the idea that nobody is gone as long as there's actually someone alive that remembers them. I was like, oh, that just makes sense is what that is. Because that's just real. Opponent, did I win? I found the line. Did I did it? Oh, they want me to did it. Kiki-Jiki, the Mirror Breaker. Bloop. You can't push either of these right now. No! You nerd! Oh. I mean, this isn't the end of the world, but like, you nerd. Attack Liliana. Attack Burrenton 6. Gosh darn it. Oh. Man, that was so specific. Like, look at how loose their mana is right now, too. I was so proud of myself for actually finding the kill them line. I never do that. Nile Spellbomb, sure. My one Eternal Witness is gone forever now, too. Wait, no, I boarded in the second one, right? I mean, they had exactly what they needed, right? They knew they needed it, and they had it. And my Kiki's gone, too. No more combo. Shit. I mean, I felt like it was a reasonable chance to go for it. What? Whoa! There was a freaking fatal push, too? Come on. Gross. All right. Hopefully I get to eat one of the illusions here. We're going to go to 2. So if they find another bolt, we're toast. If they find a Bloodbraid Elf, I'm almost definitely dead. Oh, look, Bloodbraid Elf. Wait, I'm just dead, right? I'm just dead. No, I can block and take 3. So I'm going to leave the Bloodbraid up in case I draw a Skyclave Apparition. The Apparition can eat the Bloodbraid, but can't eat the illusions. We got to hit something here, though. Gosh darn it. Can't win them all. Let's go game 3. They brought out a lot of Nile spell bombs. Well, more than one. Still. Do you want this Burrenton Forge-Tender against their lightning bolts? I don't think so. I do have all these Veil of Summers. They definitely, they fetched very aggressively around Magus. And I know that doesn't necessarily mean they'll always be able to play around Magus, but like maybe it's worth doing in that way. If I'm gonna bring in Veil of Summer, what do I want to take out? I feel like it's Eldritch Evolutions. Man, this card is slightly more disappointing than I thought it was because it exiles itself when you go with the Witness. The Chord thing works beautifully, but Evolution doesn't, which I did not know until today. How popular is Mill? No, Mill is not just popular. Mill's good. And the first on the Saturday challenge, Mill was in the top 8. It was 8th place, but it was in the top 8. Mill is popular and good. It is a good deck. I would say that. Maybe I don't want to cut evolutions. If I did cut cut one evolution and one like wall. Yeah, let's do it that way. All right, let's do it. I mean, this hand sucks, but it has a Veil of Summer. All right. Maybe this time they won't have turn 3 Ashiok. Okay, that's exactly what I needed to draw to feel comfortable with this hand. Dryad Arbor in the 80. Roy, could you hit him with the command? Hit them with the command. There it is. This is not a pro Dryad Arbor stream. No love for Dryad Arbor here. Roy seems like the best mod ever. Oh, he is. He is. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Roy is my best Magic friend. And also just one of my best friends. Just a good human. Oh, Roy, I did see your giant message about chess. I did not get to it because I spent all day trying to get into the Mana Traders thing, but it's on my... It is on my mental Rolodex. Could you have, like, played one freaking discard spell by now? Or did you just board them all out in anticipation for my Game 3 boarding in of Veil of Summer? Because apparently I'm the idiot. I am a very poor robot. I will not mince words about myself and my robotry. Robot. Robot. What's the Fry quote? I can kind of dance like a robot. Yoink.
Yoink.
I think that's a season 1 episode of Futurama. Guy was such a colossal disappointment. Rude. Rude. Adult version of Arthur. You know, it's funny, in retrospect, is Arthur a TV show about one of the smart kids? Like, he likes reading and stuff. Heliod for sure. I'm not sure what else. This is Bloodbraid. Hopefully they flip into Kolaghan's command here. Fuck! What? Come on! Where is your black removal? Boo! Boo hiss! Stop it! No likey! Cascaded. Yeah, exactly. It's the mediocre shell through which the viewer saw the show. Yeah, I guess so. That show had the same kind of 90s vibe as, like, Hey Arthur, with the, like, super realistic portraits of, like, family life and reality, basically. DW was way more intelligent. Well, for a kid. Sure. Okay, could you play, like, one Fatal Push? Anything? Anything. I'll take anything. Just goes to combat. Rude. You're rude, opponent, and I do not appreciate it. I will Helix your Bloodbraid Elf. Here's going to be where they play Croxa, and they continue to not give a shit about my Veil. I'm going to be forced to cycle it. Oh, worse! I love it when it's worse. Can you just... I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Because, like, this is just one of those, like, just getting totally sacked by actually bringing in the Veil of Summers in what should be one of the most Veil of Summer rich matchups. And this game, no cards, no relevance, 0. Brutal. They have so much set up. No. You could change it to X1 if you really want to get technical about it, but... And then change the word A to An. I don't think you need to make it that complicated. I think just the more simple commands there are, the better. The more where it's just sort of a one-liner. God, I really needed the freaking Noble Hierarch. so that I could Eldritch Evolution it into Witness to try to pick something up so they could pop the Nile Spell Bomb. Then I could play the other Eldritch Evolution to turn it into, God, it's something. Woof. Got nothing going on. I shouldn't have cut one of my 1-drops. My hubris. Hubris, thy name is Zach. Okay, let's fetch the green first. God, we're so low now. It's just not. I think we're just getting Skyclave Apparition, but I can't Veil to defend it. If I get Witness, they just Nile Spellbomb whatever I want. So, because like what I want is Lightning Helix. There's no chance in the world they'll let me have it. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna die and it's fine. We're gonna die. We're gonna go to round number 5. Jund is Jund for a reason. Do it. Do it. Just play the Fatal Push now. I'm really pissed that it wasn't finally a Fatal Push. I really am. I wanted them to prove to me that they were actually playing around it the whole time. That they were actively making choices not to play black cards. We're all gonna die. I meant soon, Roy. So did I. Ah, The Simpsons. We have a quote for every occasion. This is the worst day of my life. Ah, Lenny. Without the dental plan, Lenny, you wouldn't have that diamond in your tooth. Ding. Yoink. What do you have? What do you have that you chose not to play there? I'm so curious. I can't do anything. I can't do anything here. I could play Urian and die. That's fine. It's fine. Don't need to know. Okay, we're at 2-2. Damn. Lost to Jund. The worst. The worst. Ah, Veil of Summer. Why do you let me down? You only gotta bring it in against blue-black, I guess. That's not actually true. So I just don't know how they decided to sideboard. It's possible they took out some of their discard, either preparing for that or because they were bringing in low impact cards like Ashiok, where Ashiok is an incredible hoser unless it's totally pointless. Yeah, our opening hand was mediocre minus, except we had a green source into a Veil on the play. And so I felt very comfortable against the deck with 7 main deck discard spells and multiple black removal spells that they never drew or played. I admit the opening hand was like not super strong. I literally said it at the time. I was like, this hand sucks, but it has a Veil. We drew a reasonable amount of action. They just drew a lot more. But I guess it's essentially like a mull to 5. Yeah, the evolutions were a lot worse than I was thinking. Like, I thought... Well, we didn't draw a single one of our walls, right? Not one Wall of Blossoms or Wall of Omens. Not one. Because that's a card they don't want to remove. They can't remove with Lightning Bolt. And it goes up to Bresto Angel. Or Shalai. And Shalai is, like, gotta be reasonable in that matchup. So like, I'm not mad that I kept it. Yeah. I'm not mad that I kept it. Like, I think it was a reasonable keep. It was definitely like hopeful, but that's fine. Yeah. fact that they just had X1s? What? Oh, X for ones. You get Inquisition on one. Okay, this looks like a Pox deck. I mean, it could be a lot of things. Taking the bird would not be a Pox deck, though, right? Pox deck would not take the bird. They would want me to play the bird. It's probably 8-rack. They shouldn't take the bird. They should take the bolt. I mean, it could be 8-rack that's not playing Pox, I guess. Maybe it's the black-white, like, mid-range deck. Like Phyrexian Obliterators and stuff. Could be Stoneblade. I don't usually see Urborg and Stoneblade. They're usually more worried about their white mana, because they want to play things like Skyclave Apparition. This is like a worse swamp. This is much worse than a basic swamp. Usually play one? Okay, if you say so. Yeah, there was a deck that 5-0'd with Obliterator. Normally, it's not part of Modern, but this week has been cuckoo, bananas, crazy, go nuts. If you want to learn about every single deck in the deck dump, you can go listen to the episode of Serum Visions, which you can locate right here. Well, of course it's better than Negator. It's a whole mana more. It's also black, 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 black. Negator is 2 and a black. Negator is relatively affordable. Yeah, everything existed when Stoneforge got unbanned. I think there were like, it was like close to 22 distinct, not distinct, but there were 20 to 22 Stoneforge Mystic decks in the first 5-0 dump. Negator's one of my favorite cards. Yeah, Negator's sweet, but Obliterator's way better. You just can't cast it on turn 1 off of a single Dark Ritual. Double Fatal Push on my voice. Yes. I appreciate you, opponent. I really do. You're my kind of people. Just coming out here and doing it honestly. Our hand is really sketchy. This Archon is not great. Turn 5 birds, not great. At least it messes with their mana a little bit. Oh, no. I'm aware of that. I saw noted control player McWinsauce, though, Roy, saying after Mystic Sanctuary got banned, they were like, listen, guys, you're all just being lazy. You can build your own Mystic Sanctuary. Did a picture of him using Witch's Cottage to put a Snapcaster on top. What is this? Each opponent stacks a creature, create a 1/1 white black spirit creature type of flight. Yeah, alright. I wonder if they have the follow-up Liliana. That'll suck. No, he didn't make it work. I haven't seen any published decks with that. He just said you could do it. Yeah, it looks like we might be against black-white tokens. Yeah, could be a sword. Sword would be really good for our side. I'm more worried about Liliana or something like that. Rad Chad. I love Rad Chad. I don't have double green. Unfortunate. So while they had to burn 2 fatal pushes on my Voice of Resurgence, I had to burn 2 bolts on their Chad. So hopefully My Ephemerate gets to help me out here. Again, where are my 8 walls? If I draw any of the 8 walls in my deck, I will be in good shape in terms of getting up on cards here. Elspeth! Wild. I think if they attack with this knight, I'm going to Ephemerate my Archon. Is this worth doing? No, it's not. I'm not in that much danger. Untap up to 2 creatures. Holy crap, that's going to be a lot of damage next turn. Maybe I should have done it there. Yikes. Okay, but this matchup, Veil of Summer is going to be great, right? I can't be wrong twice. You want to see the 8 crab versus the 8 wall matchup? Do you want a preview? Do you know which deck is going to lose horribly? Crap, they actually pumped the... They pumped the knight. How much is this to escape? It's 6. And how many cards? 4. Okay, they can do that next turn. I'll just take it this turn. If we draw the wall, we still get to start digging our way out of this, but oof. Fuck! Man, they're just really smashing me. Huh. Brutal. The chords and the evolutions have been super awkward a lot of the time. Better late than never, I guess. They did take the Eldritch Evolution, so maybe we dig our way out of this. We'll be live with Chord relatively quickly. Because this turn, they're just getting the Elspeth back. Well, I assume. Yeah, they are. And they get more... Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, at least I understand why we're playing 8 Wall of Blossoms now, right? Like, this deck is way better when it's got a Wall of Blossoms or an Eternal Witness going. It's I mean, I do not believe it. I'm really shocked. Opponent? Wait, they don't have flying? All right. Well, so the thing is, I think the superior version of this deck, generally speaking, is Aspiring Spike's Bant Ephemerate deck. Or something similar to that. Maybe Soul Rider, which is playing like a lot of the Coiling Oracle and those kind of creatures. Bolt's a good pickup here. I'm in my main phase. Why can't I cast stuff? The hell? Oh! Oh, no! Well, my Archon is pantsing me. Yeah. We didn't lock ourselves out. I'm just an idiot. Yeah, I forgot the Archon was symmetrical on the one half. Because it hadn't been relevant until now. That's okay. We're fine. We're fine. We're going to be okay. Probably, but maybe not. But probably. It was worth drawing the extra cards. It really was. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. If they make creatures with Elspeth, we're fine. If they pump their creatures, I get to bolt the Knight Ally, and then the Human Soldier is not big enough to get through my Wall of Blossoms. So I should have attacked with my Archon. So I got caught up in the weirdness of Ephemerate Archon interaction. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Bolt. Pew. Stranger interaction for sure. Yeah, well, it's just not one. I mean, it's all. I guess that's part of the reason we're only running one Archon in the deck is that we want to be multi-spelling a lot of the time. But they can still play a spell this turn post-combat, so I'm kind of concerned about what it might be. Not concerned about that one, though. That one's okay. Okay, so if I shock, I can attack with my Archon, and then also Chord, and then pick up the Witness. I'm willing to go to 3 in this matchup. I don't think they have any reach. Can also play the Hierarch and still be able to Chord for 3. I can't play the Voice, but I can play the Voice next turn. So we Chord for 3, get the Witness, pick up basically whatever I want, but so I basically have to survive one more turn cycle, and then we win. Do I have anything in my deck that gains life? I have Scooze. These are my tutorable things. I guess in theory, Magus locks them out of all of their spells. And then all I'm playing is Chord from now. So maybe I should have upkeep Magus them. Man, they lost their Elspeth there for basically nothing. And they can't escape it. Oh, they have 2 Marsh Flats. Exile 4 other cards. I could fetch the Scooze and eat their graveyard in response to them fetching. Maybe they won't see the combo coming? Collector Brutality. Wait, what? Oh, they're bolting me. Well, they're shocking me. And they put Nether Spirit in their graveyard. Neat. I mean, this resolves. We got a 1. Oh, it killed my wall. I was not counting on that. All right, we'll just get the Scooze. There's more than enough creatures to keep me alive. God damn it. People this stupid shouldn't be allowed to live. All right. For some reason, I just didn't pay attention to the fact that -2/-2 is relevant on my creature with 2 damage on it for reasons. Reasons of my own. They're not my own. I'm just bad. But they don't have any particularly good attacks here, and I'm going to take away their ability to escape their Elspeth. Well, not particularly well. We'll eat the Nether Spirit, though. Eat the Nether Spirit. Crack in for 4. So when they swing back, we block with Archon, and I can play Voice. If I play Voice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I go down 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I go down 1, but I go up 1. Eat Elspeth. Yeah, we might end up just doing that. I can just play Voice and eat Elspeth. And deal with the Chord for Magu. Chord for Magus. Yeah, how many creatures do I have in my graveyard? 1, 2, 3. Do I think I can beat them in that fight? Yeah, no, I understand it shuts off all the mana. I get that. I brought it up earlier as an option. Shut off all their mana. I have 1 blocker, so I'm going to go to 1. The next turn, I have 1/2 green mana. I just have to worry about the number of fairies getting high enough to kill me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably worth doing. If we die like heroes. You doubt they're going to respond to... Yeah, they just didn't. We play voice and then Chord on their upkeep. We could, but then we die. Because we'd have 0 blockers and they have 2 1/1s. Oh, I wasn't thinking about the Magus being a blocker. Yeah, okay. No, we could have done that and gone to 1 anyway. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Doesn't matter. It's fine. You got, nerd. Unfortunately for you, you're losing life. We have birds. We got Bop, Rock, and Beats. They don't matter. Opponent scooped it up. Bop, Rock, and Beats. They scooped how interesting? I don't think that's interesting. I think they saw the writing on the wall, and I also literally just shut down 6 lands, and I assumed they couldn't play anything in their deck, so... And we'd already eaten out their Nether Spirit. Okay, I think we could go down on bolts, probably, against the token deck. I do want the Revoker. Archon was like a blessing and a curse that game. It was really strange. Yeah. The bolts were important against like the Gideon but like we could have easily had a Skyclave, we just never did. Yeah, just go down all my bolts for Veil of Summers. I don't really like that, considering how Veil of Summer pantsed us so bad in the last game. I think I definitely want some bolts. Yeah, Skyclave is not an okay Magic the Gathering card. I mean, it's okay for each color to have cards like this. Like, you know, blue-green has Uro, and, you know, Titan decks have Field of the Dead. So Skyclave fits in on the power level. I think one of the big problems with Skyclave, yeah, you're glad there's a reason. But one of the big problems with Skyclave is like there were decks like Taxes that were already like reasonably viable, but also super annoying. Like that, like the problem with Taxes for me is that, and I said it in the last podcast episode, but like Leonin Arbiter leans into Magic variants in the worst, most frustrating, crappy way. It is like, that has to be one of the most tilting, the most tilting cards of all time. Like there's just nothing compares to Leonin Arbiter. Card is just not okay. The whole design of that thing is just obnoxious to the nth degree. When it's like, it's just like the most ridiculous delta, right? The difference between Arbiter being reasonable, completely insane, or totally pointless is just not it's never in your control, and you can't do anything about it. You can't affect your opponent's fetch lands in hand and in library. It's just not an option. So okay. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you meant. I just was espousing on it because I like to talk too much. Crap. Well, I got a great use for these Eldritch Evolutions. Wall of Blossoms, Wall of Omens, off the top, please. Please, please, please. One time for the one time. Nope. Literally the card that lines up poorly, most poorly against that card. Wonderful. Not just a creature, but something that doesn't help me at all if I draw a single creature. God, it sucks. I'm sorry, what? God bless it. What is... Ah! Their incredibly mediocre draw is eating me alive. No. I meant to cast the Lightning Helix. Okay, that's a good draw, though. That's a good draw. Whoa, I didn't say they shouldn't be playing that. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the actual scope of what they've done this game, it's like... What have they done this game? Did they do anything? They let discard spell 1 mana removal Liliana, then Gideon. Like, that's... I mean, I guess I'm kind of glad that this is able to compete. Oh my god. It's like the one non-targeted removal spell that they could hit me with here. Because Liliana can't edict me. And they had the Gaea's Guile. Alright. And they took my wall. Gross. The one super... It's not even out! I wasn't in this game! Like, that's so, like... Like, they didn't need any of these things to like they're piling on with, like, it's like when we were playing against the Jund player and it was like the Veil wasn't gonna do that much. I just wanted to cast it to, like, validate the fact that I kept my medium minus hand because I don't like mulling the 6 against a 7 main deck discard deck. Like, Veil should be able to help us not get wrecked so badly. Sometimes you get got. Ugh. Liliana's on 6. We're done here. Okay. Game 3. Flagstone should show they're definitely playing smallpox. I don't think so. That card's just been really popular. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they should be playing smallpox. With the whole build that they have going on there, but I don't know that I will never assume that anyone's playing it if I haven't seen it yet. I'm not assuming they're not playing it. I'm just gonna wait and see. There's really nothing I can do most of the time about playing around it. Like, it's just... But I need these walls to come up. I'd like Veil into wall. That's all I want. Just value cards. Okay. Okay, deck. So if they... If they Thoughtseize or Inquisition me, I lose the wall most likely. But then I can Evolution into Witness to pick it back up again. If they push my Hierarch, I just get to play the wall. So we kind of get to make it through both ways. I mean, Evolution as a 2-for-1, but that gets me a card that's a 2-for-1 is like... If I evolution into Witness and I get Smallpox, though, it's going to be really brutal. Actually, even if I don't, because I'm sacking my mana creature. They did not take the Wall of Blossoms. Kalukale. And we drew that. Okay, maybe... I'm not going to say there's a god, but, you know, some benevolent force in the... Woo! Am I playing 8 walls? Because this finally feels like I'm playing 8 walls. I'm not saying I'm happy. I'm just saying I'm not mad. Brutality. So no matter what, they're going to get to take my evolution, I guess. Do I want to ephemerate the Hierarch now? And then the wall on my... Yeah, I probably do. Maybe we should flicker the wall. Hierarch's not worth that much. Rats. Maybe they'll take the Veil of Summer instead. Because they are on like almost entirely black removal in their deck. So unlike the Jund deck, they can't just pivot to their lightning bolts like. Nice. Love that, Roy. The Hierarch would have let our wall attack for more damage. You're not wrong. I think I'm happy to hold the Veil up here instead of playing the birds. They play Liliana, it's like not the best, but it's not the worst. We hit our next couple land drops off that play. Would I Veil a Fatal Push? Absolutely. On one of these walls? Probably. Because I need them for Chord. If I pick up a Chord, I want to have a high enough number of creatures in play. So it's pretty worthwhile. Not super worried about losing to Lingering Souls. And that was only a B-side Lingering Souls. It's just 2 spirits. We'll be fine. What the Lingering Souls B-side track sounds like. Voice seems real good here. And I guess I'll fetch, and put in Urian. Although I guess... Crap. I want access to red in my mana. So it's a shock. Life gain and card advantage? Well, depending on what else you put in your deck, Renegade Rallier has been incredibly impressive to me over the last little while. But it requires other cards in your deck that you can bring back. But Renegade Rallier really literally does all those things. It's insane. Also Omnath. Renegade Rallier! Renegade Rallier is your card. It's the only thing you need. Card is busted in half. You think they're messing with me? They might be messing with me. Is Liliana? Turtle power. Yeah, Kitchen Finks is good too. I have Kitchen Finks in the Enigmatic deck too. Okay, so they can't down tick, but they can up tick. I think I just want to cycle this Veil here, because I'm about to play Urian and flicker my whole... Well, I can Skyclave to eat the Liliana, so let's just cycle this now. And then we can Skyclave it, and then we can Urian the turn after, hopefully. Oh. Yeah, no, I'll just discard this. That's fine. I'm not discarding Orion. Well, that's a draw and a half. Liliana. Not Urian. Urian doesn't kill the Liliana, which I pretty much wanted to do. And I guess if they have a discard spell here, I'm going to get kicked for it, but I think we'll be okay. I don't know what costs double white in their deck. I really probably should be worried about... Yeah, that's fine. I probably should be worried about some kind of Wrath coming out at some point. I just sack Voice here, right? This sounds phenomenal, thank you. Voice didn't even have a trigger for me on the Urian. Okay, sick. I've got a 5/5. Sweet. Thanks, bruh. Opponent says BRB. Okay. Why did they do that? I don't know. They must have a plan. I assume they have a plan. They're gonna Wrath me. It has to be that they're gonna Wrath me. They must have a Wrath, and they don't have the 4th land yet. That is my assumption. I'm sticking to it. I'm still gonna play the Urian this turn though, because drawing an extra 2 cards is just... Yeah, it's worth too much. We also could be able to set up... Yeah. No, but Mike. It's not that it's not just that I get to resto Urian. I can do resto on Urian during their second main phase, and then have Urian come back at their end step and flick my whole board out for their turns. Wait, no, other way around. I could play resto on my turn on Urian, so he comes back at my end step, and then Urian is the only creature in play on their turn. So yeah, Roy, Restoration Angel and Urian forms the same kind of loop as Charming Prince and Urian. It's making sure it's not a... No, it's a Bird Serpent. Or Sky Noodle, to be technically correct. It's the Sky Noodle. I think I'm going to flicker my Skyclave Apparition, actually. No, Hexdrinker can't be the Danger Noodle. The Danger Noodle is like Ambush Viper. Hexdrinker has to be something else noodle. Danger Noodle is so... Like, the Danger Noodle is something with Death Touch. How important do you think is the deck has an out to infinite life? Right now, reasonably, especially with how prolific the Heliod deck is about to be. Well, it's not that I'm I do some brewing, but I also select for decks that I think have a good meta meta presence. Ambush Viper might not be Danger Noodle, but what about my boy Ice Fang Codal? Surprise Noodle is good too. I like Surprise Sneck though, because it's got more of the alliteration. Or Speedy Sneck. We have quote for Snake. That's number 4. Wow. I know. Fucking Arkham's Astrolabe's banned in every format it was legal in, basically. Gross. I cannot believe they banned it in Legacy without trying it out without Oko. I'm so frustrated about that. I love that little thing. God, I know I'm one of the people who I did spend enough time playing the card while it was legal that I'm not like, man, I didn't know. I played like every Arkham's Astrolabe deck nonstop. I love that card so much. And I miss it. I miss it every goddamn day. I was happier in every single format with Arkham's Astrolabe legal. I love that freaking card so much. I did not see Anurag get the 4-1 with Prophetic Prism. No. Alright, well, if they don't have the Wrath literally right now, we're in great shape. If they have the Wrath right now, still in good shape. Yeah, okay, but here's the thing about that Prophetic Prism idea, is that my point about Legacy and Astrolabe and the fact that, and I specifically said it just now, I wish they had left Oko in, or not Oko, I wish they had left Astrolabe in for a period without Oko. Because without Oko, it's an incredibly low-powered card. It's not a blue card. It's like probably the 6th or 7th worst cantrip in the format. And without the potential of turning it into an elk, it's so much worse. The upside of playing it is like for Urian decks, and I don't think that's enough for most people, even though it helps them with their colors. I don't actually think that's competitive enough. Legacy's a wasteland format, really be out of the card. No, but you're not listening to me, because it means that you're lowering the power level of your deck by such a huge amount that the fact that you're not going to get wastelanded isn't going to matter that much when they just kill you. Like, yeah, you're insulated from wasteland, but you're spending all this time playing these 1-mana doodles that don't do anything. Like, or if they get dazed or whatever, your mana is going to look terrible. So anyway, I'm just saying I think it would have been worth trying, and I'm really annoyed that they didn't. Because I just like the card. I like the card, and I like the fact that it and I know this is a bad argument, but I like the fact that it lowered the ceiling for trying to play multiple colored decks. So right now, I can do the resto trick. And the question is that worthwhile in case they have the Wrath? It probably is. There's also very little downside to it. Flick. No, I'm sorry, guys, but we should have that conversation. I was supposed to do that man step. All right, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Now here, Urian goes away for their turn, so that's pretty good. Oh, I drew my Kiki. Wait, what? Oh, no, I did do it right. Okay, I thought so. My bad. Whee! Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Wrath me now, baby. Where did my board go? Are they behind the chair? Are they removed from the game? Wait a minute. Cards can't be removed from the game anymore. They must be in some kind of zone. Which zone could they be in? Does anybody know? I'm not gonna block here in case they have an edict again. They've shown themselves playing both Kaya's Guile and Liliana, and going to 8 is fine. At 2 object permanents. They gotta hit my opponent with the Blues Clues. Et 2 King Gorilla. God damn it. Rotting Regisaur. Yo. Yo! Rotting Regisaur. And modern. God, what a champion. Okay, so we can just play Kiki-Jiki. They can't enable Revolt. So I'll flick Skyclave right now and just eat their Regisaur. And I think they're just dead in a whole bunch of ways, but one out, path to exile. Sure, yeah, I guess so. But then, do I have Chord for another angel? I think I do. No, I don't have enough green creatures. Well, hold on. Red, 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 white, 1, and then I have green, 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 1, 2, 3. No, I can Chord for another angel anyway. That's really funny. Ridiculous. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's none of my business, though. Save target. Kiki-Jiki. Always yes. Yay! Got him. All right, 3-2, baby. Back in the saddle. So yeah, it's the first time I've ever played Kiki Chord. This was a trip. You want uptime, Roy? 5 hours, 18 minutes, 7 seconds. So, yeah, I like this deck a lot. Veil of Summer is a real tilting card. It is. Oh, that. Do you like this more than the all-in pod? Infinitely more. So much more than the all-in pod. And I think I'm so willing to give up fast kills for having interaction, consistency, and a mid-range game plan. Because this deck has the ability to grind out long-term in a way that I really like. I've seen other versions of this that are playing Seasoned Pyromancer. I like that card a lot. I understand that the mana is not that compatible with the other cards we're playing. But something that I definitely like to look at. There was a Soul Rider deck in this same deck dump that I think is worth looking at. So it's 4-color Kiki Chord, basically, very lightly in red. So it's mostly Bant Kiki Chord with Avalanche Rider. And so basically Avalanche Rider plus Ephemerate is cuckoo bananas on blowing up your opponent's lands. Having Soul Herder in the deck sounds like fun. So I've never really played any of those decks all that much, and it sounds like it could be worth doing now. They used to have Arkham's Astrolabe, obviously they don't anymore. Avalanche Rider sounds yes, it does. I was looking actually just now if I had that deck loaded up. I can grab it out of the deck dump while we're sitting here. But yeah, this was really fun. And 2 Kiki-Jiki combos in one night, and I appreciated both of them. Both the Kiki-Jiki combo and the Felidar Guardian combo I think are way easier to pull off than they used to be in terms of execution, with the stops and the yields and all that. So that's really fun, because I've seen people have to have a really hard time. Play that deck a ton, but the riders seem kind of bad right now in the meta. Well, how much Titan and Tron have you run into? Because I've run into a reasonable amount of both those decks, and I feel like having a couple of Avalanche Riders could really help out. But I could be wrong. I could 100% be wrong on that one. I just... So this is the one I just played. Well, maybe they don't help that much, as much as I was thinking, but I still want to try it out. They're great versus those decks, but all you see is aggro. Got it. But I feel like your main deck can't be that bad overall. Like, this deck we beat red-green Panza, the red-green mid-range deck, and that's... Oh, here we go. That should be a tough matchup. This one's even playing Ice Fang. Ooh, you had me at Ice Fang. So much aggro / Tron and leagues. I agree. You don't want to play Path and Riders together? I don't care about Path. I hate Path. Path sucks. There's only 2 Paths in this deck anyway. That's fine. Wait, but Path is fine against the big mana decks. Was Uro the good guy? You know my opinion. Yeah, I'm interested in playing this deck this week at some point. This will be fun. Anywho, that is probably going to be it for me for tonight, but we will definitely be back later this week. Probably tomorrow. Almost definitely tomorrow. I can't imagine that I'm going to miss tomorrow, but could happen. Things happen. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Meanwhile,
Somebody to raid. Hopefully there's some awesome human being that I enjoy streaming some kind of Magic Gathering cards. Yeah, looks like Co-Diamonds. Oh, Strifo. We're going to Legacy, baby. Going to Legacy. Don't let the combo players bite. They always do, and they bite hard. Stupid dark rituals.